right, y'all. I guess it's up. Is it up? I had to sit it in the dirt. Okay. Good morning, everybody. I hope this goes okay. I can't really stop what I'm doing. Hope I can be heard. I won't be able to look at the. I won't be able to look at the screen because I'm moving around. I got a lot to do today. But anyway, so um, I woke up this morning. I was thinking about goals and ambition, and uh, I showed a book I have called Brian Tracy. No, it's not called Brian Tracy. It's by Brian Tracy. It's called No Excuses. And I really love that book because it gets to the heart of the matter um, when it comes to people producing. Um, it's a real simple science to being productive. You either are productive or you're not. You know, you either have measurable goals and you either meet them or you don't. There's no excuses. There's no in between. Either you're setting real measurable quality goals and you're meeting them or you're not. And I would go as far as to say pretty much if you're not meeting goals, you're just fucking off. You know. And I don't think, for some people they like to just float and coast and do the bare minimum enough to get by. That's the attitude of a lot of people. A lot of people don't like setting goals because they're afraid to fail. Some people don't set goals because God damn it, is my water out? You can't be serious. Oh my God. Oh, we're getting a drought. It's very little water left in this barrel. That shit's barely coming out. Oh my God, my back is itching. Um, but I gotta hold this barrel with both hands to get this stuff out. Damn. Liz, we're almost out of water on this one. Dang. Yeah, I'll go to the other one and get it. Yeah, yeah. He just said it's supposed to rain in the next few days. Good morning, anybody. I'm not able to look because I'm kind of working. I'm not able to look at the screen. But yeah, Brian Tracy's book called No Excuses. I absolutely loved it. It really trained my brain to understand that you're either productive, meaning that you set measurable, uh, you know, time oriented goals and you're meeting them or you're not. And procrastination is the biggest enemy. And making excuses for why you're not getting things done. It's your enemy. It's your definite enemy. Um, and what he trains you to think and understand in the book is that there are no excuses. If you set goals, you need to do everything. You have to have benchmarks. You have to have a plan, and you have to execute that plan. There's just no excuses. There's no reason why you're not producing. There's no reason why you're not productive. You know what the goal is. You know why you need to meet the goal, and just damn do it. No excuses. I mean, I just absolutely love it. And I think that it's a smart way to approach life because it demands that you're a highly productive and focused person. It demands that you give attention to what has results and everything else needs to be ignored. So I think, you know, books like that tell you be productive and I'm gonna go to the other one like he said. Let me go to the other one and then like what he said, no excuses. And people use time. I don't, it's going to take time. No, it doesn't take time. Most things don't take time. Everything is processes. So if you do the first step of your process, you're on your way. We use time as a form of excuses. I mean, it takes time to get stuff like, no, it doesn't. It takes time to get stuff like this. It's going to take me a while. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Time is not a factor in accomplishing goals. Time is only relevant in the sense that you need to set deadlines. You need to say, okay, I'm giving myself a realistic time frame to execute part one of a long process. I'm giving myself 2 weeks to do research. I'm giving myself, 2 weeks to do the planning. I'm doing 2 weeks to gather my resources. I'm giving myself 2 weeks to network. I'm giving myself 2 weeks to share this idea. That's it. Time is only for time frames to get things done. Time is not an excuse for not getting things done. And I would say this, it's important if you are a person who's setting goals, it's very important for you to be realistic with yourself. I think that's what happens a lot of times. People, they tell themselves lies. People want to do stuff and they don't want to set solid goals to measure their success because they kind of know that it's not for them, you know? So think about this. If you have a business, or at least you're trying out a new business, a new concept, okay, so it's something you want to sell. You got to say to yourself, okay, do I want to spend the time, energy that it takes to develop this? Is this worthy of me going forward? Because no fool just goes full in with an idea that's untested, okay? You don't do that. You don't just decide I'm gonna throw all this money, time, and energy, and this is gonna be my bread and butter. This is my everything. You test things out. You try it out. You put your hand in it, and you test the market. And if nobody bites, guess what? You don't need to be probably doing that, or you're gonna have to tweak it. That's just the reality. So if you put a product out there and you say to yourself, okay, I got to set a measurable goal. Let's just say I'm gonna do uh I'll go with some beauty brands because everybody think they're supposed to have a beauty brand. Okay, I'm gonna set a goal, a sales goal every month. Starting out, my very first couple of months, I'm gonna set a sales goal. My sales goal is for me to sell at least 100 lipsticks. I'm gonna get out here. I'm gonna promote my stuff. I'll make all the connections I can. You know, maybe approach some salons, some boutiques, some beauty bars. Just 100 lipsticks. Can I get anybody to commit to trying 100 lipsticks? Or I can put them in there and see does anybody buy 100, and I don't charge the owner upfront pricing. I say you can pay me on the back end. Let me test my product. But see, some people don't want to know if success is possible. They want to hide and hope. So they won't set a realistic goal. They won't take those 100 lipsticks and test the market because they don't want to find out the truth. And that's one of the things I think, is really important about goal setting. It tells you a truth about yourself. It tells you a truth about your business. It tells you a truth about your work ethic, about your level of focus. Goals get you a lot of places close to truth, you know. And the thing is, in America, especially what I've seen, you got lots of people, particularly in business. Everybody can get a business card. Everybody can get a website. Everybody can call themselves a CEO. It's not hard to do. But does that business actually reach its goals is the question. Does it reach its goals? And I would say that too. You have like even people who have content creation, people who create content on social media, all the different platforms. Do these people have measurable goals? Are they meeting those goals? They want to say that they are content creators, but what goals do you have? Are you meeting any of those? You know, and a lot of people don't want to set measurable goals even for social media because they may find out they're not that hot. You know what I'm saying? And that can be crushing if you think you're hot. So if you say every month, I'm a content creator, I'm a social media influencer, whatever you want to claim, set a goal. Set a goal and name it. For example, let's see, I need 500 new subs every month. That's a measurable goal. See, goals ain't no joke. You either meet it or you don't. And this is what separates the losers from the winners, right? So at the end of that month, you say, okay, between the month of July 1st and August 1st, I need to find 500, not find, 500 I need 500 new subscribers. If I can't meet that goal, am I really all that? Am I really a content creator? It doesn't have to be 500. It could be 200. Maybe you're just getting started. Maybe nobody knows you. But do you increase your goals? You keep meeting your goals and keep challenging yourself. Do you do that? That's what I'm saying. A lot of people don't want to really get out here and set goals because they fear failure. And this is why so many people are stagnant. Because, see, when you set goals, you got to measure them and you got to say, what are my results? Is this endeavor worthy? For all that I have done, what's my return on investment? You actually have to measure that shit. So it's easy to just give yourself a title. I'm a business owner, right? I'm a this, I'm a that. Are you meeting your sales goals? Are you moving your merchandise? Are people actually, are consumers buying your shit? You got to set goals. I need this many contracts more than I had last year. Because everybody ain't just getting started, but are you stepping up? Uh-oh, somebody's doing lawn. I'm going to have to turn this off. They're getting loud over there. God damn it. Somebody's landscapers came. I'm going to have to go. You ain't going to be able to hear me in a second. They usually have a crew. I think, no, they got the black crew. It might not be like the Mexicans. They come in full speed with all that sound. Those are black folks. They do one machine at a time. Miss, you notice that? When the black folks come and do the lawns, they do one machine at a time for the most part. Whereas the Mexicans, they come with the lawnmower, the blower, the this, that, all at the same time. It's like a symphony of sound. You be like, God damn. You said black folks only got one person? Ah, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, see, the Mexicans come in a crew. Uh huh. And then they on to the next house, so it all equals out with less strain on everybody and more customers, right? Yeah, that's crazy. It's the way black people think. So that my husband was saying that black folks they want to keep the numbers who they got to split the money with, so they don't have a crew. It should be like two of them, somebody on the front yard, somebody on the backyard. Because the way the black folks, at least the ones that's around here that do construction, not construction, but landscaping, they look at it like you know, got to split. People ain't charging like 60, 65, $75. You split that between two people. But it take them an hour to do a lawn, maybe an hour and a half to do one house. Mexicans, it only take them 20, 30 minutes because there's five of them. But they cover a lot of territory. That means they got more customers. And it's less wear and tear on each of them because they just doing one thing. This one cuts the front yard on the lawnmower. The other one cuts the backyard on the lawnmower. Another one is a blower. Another one is an edger. And another one is cutting the bushes. And so they all come together and this shit be done fast. I mean, they come in like a whirlwind. It be amigos all around your house, and they be gone in 30 minutes flat. They be gone, boy. They come in, they be gone. But anyway, my point about setting goals. If you see people who don't, like to name their goals, that's important. That's what Brian Tracy talks about. Writing your goals down. No excuses. Write your goals down. Be clear with your intentions. Have realistic and measurable goals based on a timeline, right? And if you're not meeting those goals and you're not able to tweak it to get to those goals, you're probably not winning. You're probably not cut out for it, or you got to go back and get some skills. You got to do something different, go back to the drawing board. This is why it's so important to set goals so you can actually measure yourself. Living in hope is not is not how you get to success. Playing around with stuff and making excuses, all the reasons why you haven't got there yet, you're playing with yourself. If you claim something, you say you're a CEO, where are your sales? Where are your contracts? Did you measure them? Are you doing better than you did last year? Are you making more money? What's your return on investment? Have you increased that? You have to think about those type of things. How do you step it up? Do you change your audience? Do you change your customers? Do you change your industry? You focus on a different industry. You have to do the tweaking in order to constantly elevate and meet new goals and set more challenging goals. But what you'll see is so many people, they don't want to set goals. They don't want to name those goals because there's accountability. They just take a title and they sit there and they say, "This is what I am," and they promote themselves as that. But there's no goals, there's no intention, there's no growth behind it. You know, and most of those people are people who make excuses. And so I'm just trying to encourage the book. I may read a couple of chapters out of it. But the book is called No Excuses. And it's really just about making sure that you meet your goals, that you have goals, and you're not hiding in hope. Okay. And so I live by that book. So one of the things I can say about my business is I very much, I said this in my commentary. I know I write some long shit. Nobody want to read all that. So it's better to do videos. Um, about 10 years ago, started this business and it wasn't a business. Long story short, intensive group of networked black folks got wind that I had a handful of chairs and tables, believe it or not, and it just started whipping and going through. And it's like these people were treating me like I had this huge ass company, and all I had done was provided a few friends, a few, business owners some vending tables when they had a networking event. That's all I did. But they networked my ass, okay? Next thing you know, I got people calling me, "Where's your business card? Where's your website?" I'm like, and I was trying to be like, "Ooh, I don't." I wanted to say it. I don't have a business, but something told me don't say that. They're treating you like a business, even though you don't have a business. I mean, literally, I had 28 fucking folding chairs just from my backyard. That's it. And I think I had, what do we have? We had how many folding tables, Nez, when we first started? How many folding tables? No, very beginning. Like when we just used to have stuff in the backyard. I don't even think it was 10. I think it was like, we wouldn't even had use for 10. I think we just had like 4 or 5. Yeah, them raggedy ass folding chairs. Bought them off of Craigslist. So anyway, the point is, we were getting treated like a business, and so I said, well, maybe it's a little side hustle. I treat it like a side hustle because I got a whole career going on. This is not something I'm gonna take seriously. But it was astonishing to me because people were treating me as if I had this huge business. They were seeing me a certain way, which I was not seeing myself. And so I would buy a couple of extra tables if somebody asked for something. It was totally a side hustle. Delivering a handful of chairs and tables for people who are business owners that are at vending and networking events. That's how it started. You get a folding table and a chair. And so it was easy for me to, if I had 5 or 6, I bought a couple more tables as it kept going, 5 or 6 tables. That's 5, 6 different business owners that keep calling me every time they do a networking event. All they need is 1 or 2 chairs. And so I would bring it down there, set it up. Those people were taking and writing my information down. They were saying, "Hey, who brought you those tables and chairs? I got a bigger event. Oh, I got a festival. Well, I have this, I have that. How much more does she got?" They just kept calling me. They networked me into Black Atlanta's Business People Network. And I wasn't looking for it, I wasn't asking for it. And before I know it, I'm getting calls. Do you have bars? Do you have dance floors? Do you have this? You got high boy tables? Do you got, you know, all kind of shit? I'm just like, I'm not in business. What are these people doing? I just got a few, and I called my friend. I said, "What have you done? You've turned this thing that I was doing with you and your handful of network people, and you turned it into some other shit that I." She said, "Looks like you're in business, May. Looks like you're in business. Do you recognize it?" And I just shut my mouth and I accepted it. And when they said they wanted something, I buy it. And I expanded and expanded and expanded. And it got big, y'all. I used to get so stressed out before COVID because I would have to direct the business to other people because I can't fulfill all these orders. And I had to think about how do I want to do this because this is taking over my life. And then I end up in a warehouse. You see what I'm saying? I didn't look for that business. My point is, I didn't even have time for branding. Okay. I didn't have time for marketing. I didn't have time for nothing. I had time for nothing. People would ask me, people would ask me for, business cards. I ain't got no business cards. People would ask me for my website. I ain't got a website. I never had time to brand. I didn't have time to plan a business because I didn't plan the damn business. So I found myself in a very strange situation. People constantly asking me for marketing and branding material. I know how to do branding. I know how to do marketing, but I didn't have to market because I was in a network that's continued to grow, you know, constantly. I was in a network that continued to grow. So I didn't have to do any of that. But I managed somehow, some way to go ahead and, you know, create business cards, get a logo. I spent some time and effort doing that. And like I said, I pieced things together like a patchwork. I was piecing stuff together. I hired this one particular lady. She helped me do what you call a business. I took a lot of SBA classes, um, went to a lot of workshops, branding and marketing, networking. I have a friend who does brand management. I've been to a lot of his classes and a lot of his networking events. I put time and energy. I went to the Small Business Association and I earned, within, was it 6 months, I earned a certificate for business. I think it's called Business Now. I think that's the name of it, Business Now, or Business Grow or something. Shit, I forgot. But I took so many of them. But I spent a lot of time with marketing and branding, and I pieced together what I could. Never really got a website. I hired an Indian guy, and he put together some software and a website. And unfortunately, as good as it was excellent. It was self automation. Spent money and invested. My customers didn't like it. They wanted to talk to me. They liked how excited I get, and I ask them all these questions, and I help them because I'm an event planner. And I don't even charge for it. I just throw ideas out there. I send them Pinterest. It's kind of like my passion. So I have a good time with my customers, and that's what they want. They don't want an automated, website. They want to talk to me when they find something amazing or they got a new idea. They want to throw it my direction. And sometimes they get full service event planning. Sometimes, but mostly I like event decorating. Oh my God, what is that? Oh, they're starting. Oh, everybody. Oh, it's on all sides. All these. It's coming from every direction. I'm gonna have to go. They're on the left side and the right side doing landscaping. Um, and I hear a new one. They got two over there and they got one over there so far. Anyway, um, so my point is this: I threw together. I was making so much money and stressed about the process. I literally like damn near, I could say I had to quit my job as a teacher because it got to be that much. Or at least I could. I could take that option. You either leave it like where it is and you spend every waking hour trying to make up for the fact that it's not full time, or you take on the business and take it seriously. And so that's what I did. It was not my intention, but it was an escape for me. It was a way to be self-employed and get out of a career and retire early. So I took it that way. It's my retirement ticket, early retirement ticket. I'm doing what I love. It doesn't feel like work. I'm like searching for tea sets and shit every day. Is that work? I'm always looking at tea sets. I'm always going to antique stores. Oh, I like that. I like that. It's fun. It's not even work. But anyway, my point is I did not really I did some branding along the way. I got the certain pieces right. I love my logo, but it was patchwork and it wasn't planned the way it should be. I'm a perfectionist to some things. To some things, I'm a perfectionist. And I honestly have grown over these years and I've seen things over these years. And so I'm at a place where I am ready to rebrand business. I've decided I want to tweak it to a different audience. I have a certain socioeconomic income that I want to focus on now, whereas before I didn't. I didn't have that picked out. I know who my customer is now. My customer is either Arab, Indian, African American women, or Nigerian women who got big money to spend. These are the people that I want to focus on. These women, they're the tested, tried and true, good customers that stand by, right? And then I have some males, some men who like to promote big, crazy mansion parties. Those are my customers too. Okay, so that's been consistent. So mansion parties, government contracts, and then these women that have money to spend. So I realized that that's what I need to do. I need to focus on tweaking my customer, and those people probably need more from me, and I need to attract more of them. And so I am rebranding. I set a measurable goal. I said, was it 3 weeks ago? I was like, I'm giving myself 2 to 3 weeks to complete this photo shoot, videography, X, Y, and Z. I met my goal. I got all my photo shoots and stuff done of the larger things, right? Because social media is requiring you now to put video content. People pay attention to video content. You used to could put pictures. Pictures are not good enough anymore. So I'm going to create a lookbook, and this lookbook is going to have links to videos that I'm going to embed and have housed somewhere. That's one of the things the guy said. When you do a website, if you put too much video in the actual website, you slow it down. So I've learned from a lot of professionals. I've learned from a lot of people what to do and what not to do. And I have relied and invested in professionals to do stuff. But because I have a marketing, branding, and business background through training, and I have visual communication as well as graphic design foundation and stuff like that, and photography. I'm professionally trained in photography and writing. So a lot of the materials for, advertising and marketing and branding, and some of my associates, like my friend who has the branding company who I work with all the time, I have everything I need to do my own photo shoot, to do my own flyers, to do my own brochures. I have all those skills. And so it's just a matter of me producing now. So I'm setting goals, and I'm going to be speaking on my goals because I intend to meet all my goals. And so my first goal is to get all of my data that I have done, all my new information, as far as um, streamlining my inventory and all the photos and the photo shoots that I just completed, getting that into a hard drive, organizing it so it's easily accessible. And I'm going to set up all of my social media so that I can start, um, what do you call it, feeding that information into social media. And so I think I'm going to go back and I'm going to delete all my old stuff and start anew. So I'm setting a goal for myself. By August 1st, I will set up new social media using the same back, the same logins and name because it's already got followers. But I'm going to go through and delete every bit of what I had done, and I'm going to rebrand. I'm going to come back with quality images, quality videos, and I'm going to be very intentional and very well planned out exactly what I want to roll out, how I want things to look, and I want it to be tight and I want it to be crisp. I want it to be extremely professional. So I'm setting those goals. August 1st, I will have all of my social media accounts set up and they will be stripped. All the stuff I've done for years is no good. We're rebranding. We're starting anew. So anyway, that's my thought. Um, Measurable goals. And I'll ask anybody, feel free to check out the book. Go to the library, check it out. Brian Tracy. It's called No Excuses, and he talks about setting goals. And so, if you're not willing to set up measurable goals, you're not willing to name your goals, and they don't have to be, on social media. Just even among yourself, your friends. Do you have anybody to network with who you actually work with? Like I have one particular friend, me and her, we meet up. We were meeting up weekly, but her daughter has to go through a doctor procedure, and it always was on the same day, multiple times a week. But anyway, so that kind of broke us up a little bit. But we were meeting every freaking Monday, and we're going to get back to it. We're going to get back to that. But we would sit and talk about our goals. We were doing that for months, and that's part of the networking. Do you have somebody who's going to hold you accountable? You know, they're going to actually say, "Did you meet your goal? Let me see." Or you just share, I got my goal met. How about you? That's important if you're actually serious about growth. But I'm here to tell you, a lot of people are not serious. A lot of people don't take their brand serious. A lot of people don't have a brand plan. A lot of people don't set any goals because they're living in hope and they don't want to actually find out that they're either winning or losing. They don't want to know. They just want to feel good. And failure don't feel good. Trust me. Trust me, it don't feel good. I felt horrible I've experienced failure and I'm resilient. I felt horrible. I felt so stupid. I thought I was smart. I went out and found me an Indian guy and he developed this website, paid him all this money. He's got software. He's got the bells and the whistles. We worked for hours on this stuff together. Feedback. What do you want it to do? Do you want it to do like, automation, send them a receipt, send them an invitation to come back. Thank you for your business. Oh yeah, I want all of that. And by the end, I spent all that money and time, energy developing that website, putting photos up there, tweaking it, and it failed. It fucking failed. My customers wanted personal, one-on-one contact. They wanted to talk to a human. I wasted all of that time, and I thought I was smart. I thought I was ahead of the curve. That was a failure. Money failed. No goals met. I was like, I need to get at least at least 50 people a week. I mean, a month to use this shit for it to be worth it. I ended up over the course of 6 months or to a year. I think I kept that shit for like a year. In 6 months time, I think I had 3 customers, and I just fucking gave up. So failure is a real thing, and when you fail, you have to be resilient. Fuck it. Okay, my customers don't want automation. They taught me a lesson. Maybe I need to ask my customers, what do they want? How do they like or prefer? I got some customers, they want to send me an email. I need this, this, and that. I'm like, oh my God. But that's their customer. They like the email. They don't want to talk on the phone. I got customers who like the text message. I got most of my customers want to talk on the phone. They send me a text, hey, can you talk? Sure. You know, and we go like that. That's how I keep my customers. I don't have to do a lot of advertising. I got a lot of repeat customers that spend thousands of dollars. Every time they have an event, they call me. You my go-to. Hey girl, you my go-to. I'm back. I got an event. Oh, okay, cool. Let's do it. What are we celebrating? That's the favorite thing I say. What are we celebrating? I always say we, because their party, my party. I put my 2 cents in. They love it. So that's how you win. Set goals, meet goals. I say. How do I exit? Okay.